Okay, so hello there everybody and welcome to Racing Formula League. We are here for a brand new season, season number 16 of RFL, and we are here, as you can see, at a rainy Miami circuit for qualifying here for the opening round. And so just check sound is all good. Yep. Sounds okay, so qualifying, as we say, in what is a very wet looking track. We've got a mix of inters and full wets from selection anyways. So a few slides going on already. We've got for the first time in RFL history, we've got more than 20 drivers here. Obviously, first time since the league began that we've been able to have up to 22 drivers. So we've got 21 here this evening, so it is going to be a very busy task to try and keep an eye on the best of the actions, and lots of cars to try and keep an eye out for, but we hope for an exciting qualifying here first of all, and then of course the race as well. Hopefully that will be good too. Obviously we don't know the weather conditions for that. I think, well, of course the drivers will have an idea, but we at the moment do not. Of course the new cars, the F126 cars here, and it's going to be very interesting to see who can cope with the conditions here. We'll go on board with the Alpine of Mati for the first flying lap of season 16 of Racing Formula League, and on to the start-finish straight here in Miami, of course. With the World Cup going on right now, we've actually tonight, it's the Colombia versus Portugal game is at Miami, so we are at the location of that fixture for tonight. But back to the F1. Looks like it's been a clean lap so far in these wet conditions, but obviously it's going to be very tentative on that throttle pedal as we go through the first couple of sectors. And so this is going to be the benchmark time. So what sort of time is it going to be? Obviously going through the middle sector at the moment. The long back, not quite completely straight, but flat out section of course. It looks like we can see on that track map there's a very busy first sector in particular, with everyone on their opening laps. So in about a minute's time we're going to get a lot of cars crossing that start finish line. But now down the back straight goes Mati in the Alpine. So down to that final braking zone and around the final corner, and it's going to be across the line, and it's going to be a 45 flat for Mati. Next car is Light Shock. They post a 43.3. They're on the intermediate tyre in the Ferrari. Then Ashton, a 44.1 for them. And Jatin, 43.4. Not too far off the time of Light Shock. Samurai goes third fastest of 43.5 for the Red Bull. And Small Girl into P4 now in the V-Carb. Ben with a lap that puts them 7th as Tarrier, provisional pole position, 42 flat. Big chunk of time he's found compared to everybody else so far. Spro 8 second, they go in the McLaren. Make that Verklempt now in the Williams, as who else posted the time? Matthew, Hugo's just posted a time there as well for Mercedes. Matthew's posted a time, Verstappen has posted a time as well. And did I miss anyone? Abel, is that how you say it? Abel. Is it Abel? Abel? Apologies for the pronunciation of that. So Jack going fastest now. Vapid, they've crashed at the Mickey Mouse chicane, has Vapid. So that's him gonna be, at the very least, he's gonna be 20th on the grid with well, as long as Kirby sets a lap time, then Vapid's going to be last on the grid. Jack there took provisional pole with a 41.4. So we have at the moment Jack provisional pole, then Tarrier second. And then we've got Lightshock third, Verklempt fourth, Spro 8 fifth, Jatin in sixth, Hugo 7th, Smallgirl 8th, Abel 9th, Samurai 10th, Ashton in 11th. Somebody's just improved. So that's that order now. So Verklempt now provisional pole. So the track drying up potentially. I mean, the rain's not too heavy, so we're maybe seeing here a drying track. Yellow flag's just ahead there. So Tom on a lap, he has just started one in the Williams. So we'll go on board with Tom, yes we will. For a lap on the intermediate tyre of course. And so we'll go through with Tom's lap here. Down the back straight, but of course isn't quite fully straight as we go through the slight, I think it's a downshift there from Tom, and obviously wet conditions will probably be playing a part in that. So now through what is approaching the end of the second sector and on to, Tom hitting the wall slightly there on the entrance to the Mickey Mouse chicane, which of course isn't its official name, but that's the name Martin Bruntle gave it, so I'm going to give it that as well. So Tom down the back straight, of course only one more braking zone for him to go, and Verklempt posts another quicker lap there, 40.8. So seems like the track is getting quicker here. The moisture is evaporating, and Tom Gorian crosses the line in his Williams. He goes P2, making it a 1-2 at the moment for Williams, as OP is approaching that final braking zone. We go on board with the Red Bull driver into the hairpin. How does the Red Bull man do? Right off the final corner and to cross the line. Where is it going to be? It's going to be P6 for OP, and we'll see how they fare later on. Kirby, that might have been in the pits. Kirby retired, I want to say, but didn't see any sort of yellow flag or evidence of anyone crashing there, so I think Kirby's decided he wants to be out at the back of the grid here. I believe that's the case anyway. Of course, if that is wrong, I stand corrected, but that is what I believe is to be the case, as because Lescoat rounds the final corner with a V-carb right on his tail as well, of course, because Glasgow on a flying lap, so he's entitled to do what he's doing. Because Glasgow fourth, but Tarrier now takes provisional pole position, so a 40.0, and further backing up the fact that the track is drying up. Jack Stones is up on his time, so is Verklempt as they go into the pits. Tom is up by 7/10 and he's rounding the final corner as we speak here. And so Tom across the line up to P2 for the Williams driver for now. Who else may or may not be on a lap? Jatin looks to be on a lap, I believe. So we'll see what he can do here. And through that chicane. And now down the back straight for the Cadillac driver for this evening. It's going to be, well, of course, is that Jatin backing out, or is he just cooling his tyres potentially? One of those, but round that final corner goes Jatin. Where can he put that Cadillac car on the grid? Oh, it's wasn't a push lap there. So all that, and it wasn't a push lap. My mistake there. Ben is rounding the final corner. He's well, he's not. He's invalidated actually, so never mind there. Small girl rounding the final corner, and it's P7 for the V-carb driver for now. And so it's Matthew into the pits. Light shock on a lap here in the Ferrari, but Tom Gorian now going provisional pole gets into the 1:39s, and now what is the Ferrari of Lightshot going to do as they cross the line here? And it's going to be P2 provisionally for Lightshot, just sneaks in ahead of Tarrier onto the provisional front row. Verstappen 95 is not on a push lap, and across the line it's going to be Zombie, and they go where do they go? P4 does the Haas driver, and Jack now improves on his lap time, and it's provisional pole for him once more. And we have now the McLaren of Spro 8 on and out lap, so they're not just about to cross the line. He was on an out lap. There. Okay. Trying to find out who's on a lap here. Tom Gorian on an improvement. So, can Tom take provisional pole position here? He rounds the final corner. Oh, he goes into the pits, in to the pit lane for Tom. He was on an improvement there, so maybe it's time for one last tyre change for him. Potentially, if there are enough tyres. Same for Light Shock as well, actually. Tyres very much just cut the chicane there. Is this a push lap from Zombie here? Not sure, but we'll have a look to see what they do. Is this a case of everyone diving into the pits? It looks, excuse me, it looks like that is what many try to Verklempt, second up on his provisional best time. Will that put him in or about the front row? Potentially could do. board with, did Sprite just go second there? I believe they did, 39.6 for the McLaren, as we're on board with Verklempt, who is rounding the final corner. Hugo's just gone P5 as Verklempt. Original pole for Verklempt now. Verklempt 138.5. So across the line. Harrier, they are on an improvement, sitting P7 at the moment. And what will they do from here? So, Harrier up on his personal best by, I think that was about a second, so could put him on the cusp of the front row potentially. Oh, a little bit of a slide. And round the final corner is P2 for Harrier for the moment. Spurway slightly slower than personal best, but still a chance for one more lap for them. There's a Ferrari crossing the line. Was that Matthew going third there? Yes, it was Matthew up to third in the Ferrari. And Spurway now starting that final lap. And who's going to be on a lap here? Verklempt now goes provisional pole. And so there's so many drivers starting a lap now. Looks like it's going to be carnage at the checkered flag in a minute or two's time. Who should we on board? We'll view Matty Hughes near the front of the sort of queue drivers, I suppose we can say. But maybe there's a McLaren. Yeah, well, that's an outlap for Ben. Spray not really on a push lap, and not really enough time for them to get Verklempt down a bit on the previous best, but holding provisional pole for now. So we'll look at Matty. I think the next driver on a fully push lap here. Matthew, second position. They take the checkered flag, second provisionally for Matthew, but what is going to happen as everybody else crosses the line? And so just one more braking zone to go. Oh, I think that's another victim of that Mickey Mouse chicane there in OP. I think it's just crashed there. But meanwhile, Matty about to cross the line. Where can they put their Alpine car? Up to P12 for now. And this is going to be carnage. Tom is very much an improvement. Who just crossed the line there? Smogger up to 4th, I believe, there. And there is Tom, pole position, provisional pole for Tom now. He puts his car there. Can anybody else match that though? That is the question. Tarrier, what's he doing? He's up by a 10th, so I don't know if that's going to be enough to improve. Jack though, he takes provisional pole position. Jack, 37.9. Samurai going P5. Tarrier, what can he do? He's rounding the final corner. Hugo, I believe, is going to cross the line just before. Hugo goes P7. What can Tarrier do here? He goes up to P4. Does LTK Tarrier. And now Ashton has gone on the soft tyres and is very much sliding round. And there you go. That is the qualifying session in the rain here at Miami, and that is qualifying complete. here. So Jack Stone's pole position for Mercedes, then we've got the two Williams, second and third, Tom ahead of Verklempt, then it's Tarrier, Matthew and Samurai the top 6 with Hugo, Smallgirl, Jatten and Abel rounding out the top 10. Then it's Zombie, Spiro 8, OP and Kozlezko, followed by Light Shock, Matty, Verstappen, Ashton, Ben, Vapid and then Kirby. Rounding off the grid with a couple of no lap times complete there. So we have now, of course, a few minutes before we get underway. And so now is, of course, the chance to get yourself any sort of refreshments, have any sort of comfort breaks you may require, and I will, of course, be back with you very shortly indeed, as I need to refill my glass of water. So I'll be back with you all very shortly indeed. Alrighty, so we are here for the formation lap, as we can see. And we have all the correct data being shown on screen, and well, actually we need to see the tyres, don't we? So there we go. Now we are now on all the correct data, so we have got quite an even split there of medium and hard tyre starters, and then we've got one soft tyre starter in the form of the Audi of Vapid. So we've already got a couple of cars who have been naughty on the formation lap and they have hit into each other, so they are going to get a less than ideal position in their grid box and also less than ideal tyre temperatures. So it is I'll say the formation lap. Obviously it will have 21 cars on the grid and we are soon to be getting underway. Okay, so we are on to the back straight, and it is going to be not so far away from the start of this race, and so the tension is building. It is almost time to get this season underway, and so drivers beginning to start parking into their grid boxes, and hopefully we get a good view off the start, a nice camera angle, and hopefully one will change. Okay, so here we are for season 16 of Racing Formula League. We are here at the opener in Miami, and it is lights out and away we go. There's been a jump start penalty given out already, but into turn 1, who will come out on top here? Oh, and it's a fight side by side for P1, but Jack stays ahead of Tom here further back. There's a bit of contact occurring in the midfield, and still side by side. Oh, that was very close indeed, but they've managed to get through so far, and few drivers making up positions, making those overtakes work out, and it's completely nose to tail here, side by side through the pack as well. Who's going to gain some positions here? Can it be 3 or 4 wide? Oh my goodness me, it is very much 3 or 4 wide there in this battle here. And into the corner, do they come out unscathed? It looks like almost, but they will surely start settling into their positions now. And so side by side, as that is the Audi of Vapid making his way through. There's also action up ahead as well. OP under some pressure from Tarrier as well, and Jack also under pressure from Tom, going into the final braking zone. Side by side they go. It's contact. Tarrier making contact there. Was done? Was it side by side? Matthew side by side with a Red Bull of Samurai into lap number 2 they go. And who is going to come out on top here? There is position changes up and down the field. Nose to tail here as well, and it's Vapid trying to make his way through. Is there going to be some space? Oh, very close. And so still side by side, and now who comes out on top here? Okay, so now it's side by side once again as... Oh, who is that going off circuit there? And one of the V-carbs in small girl losing a bunch of positions there. And that has not worked out well for them. Still it remains though side by side here between the Alpine and McLaren of Matty and Spiro going side by side. And it looks like Matty has that position for now as the two McLarens switch positions, but what is going to happen further ahead here? There's the Cadillac there of Jatin having a look up the inside of Matthew, and that is Tom Gorian now in the lead of this Grand Prix. Of course, Jack though sitting fastest lap and looking up the inside into turn 1, are they? Oh, it's a look, but Tom stays ahead. Two Ferraris switching positions as well further back. And so, who is closest here? Jack having a wee look here and there, but two Haas also nose to tail. Vapid making up another position in that Audi car. That's the other Audi, sorry. Oh, mistake there from the Mercedes of Hugo. So they drop down, but now Jatin makes a move on the Ferrari light shotgun side by side as well for P2. OP gets ahead of Jack for that second place position. But Harrier, he is down in P7. Not the most ideal of starts for the V-Carb, as there's a yellow flag in there somewhere. Must be for Hugo in the Mercedes, but now Tom Gorian under pressure from OP in the Red Bull, and that was a Mercedes of Jack having a look as well on Tom, and it's OP that takes the lead. Tom Gorian now second, but into the pits to serve the drive-through for the Red Bull car, so it's back to Tom Gorian in the lead, but he's under pressure now from Jack. Is he going to go up the inside? Yes, he is. Will he make the move stick though, with Samurai in the background as well, trying to get in on the action? A little bit of contact. Oh, Tom spun round. Tom has spun around in the Williams, and that's going to frustrate the Williams driver there. And now that leaves Jack in the lead. More position changes as well, but Jack still very much under pressure. Samurai going for the move now. Have they made it stick? Yes, they have. And this is an action-packed start to this race. And now, who is going to be the one in the lead as we head through Light Shock, taking P3 from Jatin there? Any other side-by-side moments? Do they keep the move? Does the Ferrari man? Yes, indeed. Light Shock keeping P3 for now. And so, it's just a lot of nose-to-tail action here as we look through the field. And this is the Red Bull of OP has come out P18 after that drive-through. But now back towards the front, OP under a bit of pressure from Jack, who's gone up the inside in the Mercedes car, and now it's Jack who takes the lead. Now, who will have the lead through on to the zone of turn 1, and OP up the inside again and retakes the lead of this Miami Grand Prix, but Jack going side by side and he retakes the lead. Back away again, and this top 5, nose to tail, still here on lap 5. And so, who is going to be the next to go for an overtake? Who will indeed be the one to take the lead next? On to the back straight here, and so Samurai having a look through, and it's the Red Bull man taking the lead this time. Light Shock up to P2, Jatin up to P3 as well. And what's going to happen here into this braking zone? Still side by side, Light Shock taking a look for the lead as well in the Ferrari. And who's going to come out on top here into the Mickey Mouse chicane we go. Oh, it's not going to remain side by side here, is it? Surely. And Jack and Jatin ghosting through each other there, so they will sort each other They'll sort themselves out soon enough. But now for the back straight, Jatin's having a look up the inside. He goes, and he's managed to go side by side. It's almost 3 wide there, but the lead may be changing once again here, as Samurai, Lightshock and Jatin all very close to each other. Of course, Jack and Tarrier in this group as well, not at all far back either. And so side by side for the lead once again they go. This is of course great racing between these guys here, and Lightshock taking the lead. Jatin now has P2 ahead of Samurai, third Jack, right behind in fourth, and of course Tarrier watching this all unfold in P5. And of course Tom will be trying to catch up in P6, and Abel gets through on Matthew there. What's going to happen back in this lead pack here in the top 5 positions? And side by side, and that is Jack going through onto P3 ahead of Samurai, who is now 4th. Battle for P7 there. Something's happened maybe to Matty, was it? Not sure exactly there, but on to towards the end of lap 6 now, and it's been a fantastic race here so far. But who is going to be next to go for an overtake in this top group? Jack going for it ahead of Samurai, and side by side between those two. Oh, a bit of contact between the two of them, and will Tarrier now get in on the action here? Side by side for P3, and a yellow flag at the back, but is side by side still in this battle. Jack looking to take the advantage. Now Tarrier tries to go through. Can he take the both of them around the outside into this next sequence of corners? And Tarrier moves himself up to P3, and the top two making slightly a bit of a gap now, and that's the McLaren. Ben is stopped on track there as well, but it's Tarrier up to 3rd, and Jack defending P4 from Samurai at the moment, but the Red Bull man gets through up to P4. And does he have a look on Tarrier as well? He does indeed. And side by side, but can Tarrier defend the position for now here? Looks like he has done. And we've got a battle for P8 as well, and it's Zombie who has that position for now. Tom Dorian has caught back up to the back of this group now. So the man in P6 getting back to this group, and so is Tarrier going to be under some pressure here? Looks like he will be, and he defends for now, but Jack looking up the inside of Samurai here, side by side between the Mercedes and the Red Bull car, and through we go on to lap 8 now. And it is into the pits for Matthew for Ferrari. We'll see what sort of tyre they're going to go on to. And so it's trying to make up move. Okay, Ben has retired in the pit lane, so the first retirement of the Grand Prix is Ben. But now we go on to the back straight here. Tarrier, he's almost broken that 1 second window. So Tarrier pushing to get away from these guys here. Who is closest to making a move here? Jatin is actually pretty close for the battle for the lead here. And so on to turn 1, and it's not quite there for the Cadillac driver, but into the pits for Tom Gorian. Tom Gorian pits from what was P6, and the Williams driver goes on to a set of hard compound tyres. And who else was that pitting? That is Haas. Zombie pitting as well. And so back towards the lead, and it's going to be Jatin right on the tail of Light Shock. And so, are we going to see a change in the lead here? And through. Oh, it's not quite a change for the lead actually there. And so, Matty going through for P6 there on Abel. And now there's a bit of a battle here behind Matthew. Vapid trying to go through, which he just about does he? And then there's Zombie as well, having just pitted, and it's the Ferrari of Matthew down to P17, Vapid P15 for him. So top two not into the pits. Oh, a slide from Tarrier there, and Samurai right on the tail, and it's going to be Jack into the pits as Tarrier defends the position. Jack pitting for Mercedes and on some hard compound tyres for them. Now the question is going to be, where does Jack slot in? As we've got Sprue under some bit of pressure as well, but there is Tom Gorian in the background there. Where does he slot in compared to Jack? That looks like Tom is through and ahead of Jack's Mercedes. So Tom Gorian right on the tail of Verstappen 95. Jack has slotted in a couple of positions back there behind Kozlesko. And that is Jack making up a move. Tom Gorian trying to do the same on Sprue as well. He goes to one side, has to switch to the other. And it's not quite going to be a move for Tom Gorian here. And so, was Tom going to go for it? He does go for it around the outside, changes to the inside, and a lovely move there from Tom Gorian. But we've got nose to tail action up ahead. In two separate occasions, Jatin right on the tail of Light Shock for the top couple of positions. Is there going to be a move for turn one? And let's have a look. Yes, there is side by side action. And Jatin through for the lead as Samurai into the pits. Samurai pitting on to some medium compound tyres. And we'll see in just a moment where they slot in. And so, lap 11 is all hotting up here. Samurai coming out of the pits. Where's he going to slot in? Here it is going to be P9 and behind Tom Gorian. So that is Tom going through on small girl. Doesn't make it difficult at all. Does the V card, and now got some more cars behind as well. Does small girl, got Samurai just behind, Sprue 8 ahead of Verstappen 95 as well. And so we'll see this battle as well for P15, I believe that is Kozlesko trying to make a move. Not quite able to this time around. And so, welcome in to Angelo.
Good evening.
Good evening indeed. And you join us on what is lap number 12 of this Miami Grand Prix. And we now have a battle here into the final corner. Tom getting ahead of his Williams teammate, and Samurai follows in ahead. Matty into the pits as well for Alpine, and it is also side by side P10 and 11. Zombie heading through ahead of Sprue 8's McLaren, so Samurai right on the tail of Tom Gorian here. And not quite any side-to-side action there, but Jack right on the tail of Verklempt. Through, and does the Mercedes man make the move? He does indeed.
Just solving a couple of technical difficulties at the moment. Forgive.
Alrighty, as Samurai has no technical difficulties whatsoever as he gets himself through and ahead of Tom Gorian's Williams. Also action for P11 as Matthew trying to get back alongside Abel, and then Jack gets ahead of Verklempt's Williams car. And so I'll go a little bit further back. There's a big sort of train of cars here as well. But now Abel gets through on Spro 8's McLaren there. And so into the pits for Lightshock. Lightshock has pitted from the lead group. Tario now pits as well, onto some hards for him as well. Samurai setting a fastest lap. Of course, we saw him go ahead of Tom Gorian, and out of the pits comes Lightshock. He slots in P4 ahead of Tom, but behind that Red Bull of Samurai. Of course, now Jatin with the lead, OP in second. Of course, those two yet to pit so far. And so, who is going to be next to try and make an overtake move? Go through all the positions. That is the Red Bull of OP letting through his teammate, and he's insured. Lightshock doesn't quite get through either, but now the Ferrari man just about gets himself through, does he? It continues on a little bit further into the Mickey Mouse chicane they go, and OP very much helping out his teammate here, giving his teammate a little bit of a gap ahead of Lightshock 16 in the Ferrari, but the Ferrari man gets contact. Oh, they've made a big collision there, and that is not good at all, and it's a virtual safety car deployed as well. And so will anybody dive into the pits? Yes, OP going into the pit lane there. Lightshock, of course, following in to the pit lane. And it's going to be some medium tyres from OP and some more cars pitting as well. Lightshock changing that front wing, and it's some hard tyres for the Ferrari driver. Ashton has sped into the pit lane there, as we see the Audi going on to some hard tyres there, and that will have been vapid on to those tyres. And so on this virtual safety car is a good chance to go through the order. So Jatin leads, having not yet pitted. We're on to green flags now, and it is Samurai second. Tom is third, just ahead of Jack in fourth, and it's Tyre fifth. Then the two Hasses are P6 and 7. And further back, we may see some action here, and that is Lightshock moving up to P12 ahead of Smallgirl. And so the start of the comeback from the Ferrari man has begun, and she'll be looking to try and make up time and positions as quickly as possible. And so no. Yeah. So okay, we see a nice helicopter shot here. There's about to be a move, is there? Oh, it is nose to tail between 8th and 9th. Now, we could very well see some action potentially here. Jack right on the tail of Tom, Tarrier on the tail of Jack as well. And is there going to be some action here? Jack going one way, change to the other. Jack up the inside of Tom Gorian, and Tarrier trying to make his way through it as well, and he has done so. So that moves Tom down to 5th. There is action in the battle of 8 as well, and that's going to be Matthew ahead of Matty there, as Light Shock overtaking Verklempt there in this battle for P11. And now it's going to be action. Tarrier goes through on Jack for P3 now. Does Jack come back into the braking zone? He has a bit of a look, but Tarrier stays in P3 for now. And Matty and Matthew switching positions once again. And so it's the Alpine ahead of the Ferrari for the moment. Do we see some more action between these two into turn 1? The Ferrari man having a look into the first corner, goes up the inside. Has he made it stick? He has indeed, as Light Shock sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. But can Matty in the Alpine maybe get back to the position here? Side by side they go into the fast left hand corner, but it's the Ferrari Matthew who has that P8 position for now. The two Aston Martins switch positions here, and they switch again. So Kozlowski and Ashton 17th and 18th, as there's action in the battle for P4. Tom Gorian trying to squeeze his way through, and all this is allowing Tarrier to get away from these two, but still they remain nose to tail here. And so down the back straight they go, and Tom Gorian weaving a little bit there, maybe trying to communicate something, who knows what though. And so Jatin still leads the way, still yet to pit of course on those hard compound tyres, and surely we'll see him in the next few laps or so. Ashton has retired, and that has brought out some sort of safety car. It's a full safety car deployed. So
can't stream, so
what about your own account maybe, or okay. Right, so race situation is Jatin leads the way. He has a safety car, and is that going to allow him to pit, and will that keep him in the lead of this race? That is the question we have at the moment. Of course, has a 14-second gap behind. Will that be enough in these conditions? Who knows? Who knows?
alright. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse the tardiness, I have finally managed to join after a couple of technical gremlins. As you've heard Cal say, we've got a safety car at the moment. I missed a lot of this race. Cal, can you do a quick recap of what happened to whoever's joining right now, and of course myself?
Yep, so well, it was a lot of action through the start. There was, well, let's have a look at the busy pit lane first though. It's going to be difficult to track who does what. Both Haas's double stacking, we can see. Ferrari's pitting, Red Bull's pitting, McLaren's pitting. Pretty much everyone's pitting. at the moment. One person who's not pitted though is the Alpine of Matti. And they find themselves in 3rd position on 6 lap-old mediums.
That's certainly a gamble. Miami is known for pretty high tire wear, especially through Sector 1, so an interesting strategy to catapult them up into 3rd place. Carl, just a quick question. Do you also have this glitch with the front wings?
I think I've seen it happen before, but
Oh no, use is clean. Every car for me, except the Alpine, is missing. Every car
right.
that just pit has a missing front nose cone for me.
Okay.
Which is it looks pretty funny, as you can imagine.
Yeah. So, of course, we're in a safety car, and this is the current situation. Jatin leads the way on the medium tyres, as we can see. Samurai's in 2nd. Then it's Matti in the Alpine 3rd with Tarrier at P4. Jack has gone on to the soft tyres in P5. I don't know if they're going to last the full, what's that? It's going to be about 9 or 10 laps once the safety car goes in, so I don't know if they're going to last that long.
They should be able to last. They should be able to. Considering the fastest strategy, apparently, according to the game, and it seems to be very plausible, is a 10-lap stint, 2 10-lap stints on the mediums, and a 9-lap stint on the hards for the final stint. So we've got still 1 or 2 safety car laps remaining, at least until everyone catches up, catches the queue up. So I assume about 9 to 8 laps, light of fuel load, I believe should be manageable for most of them at least.
So,
I doubt.
Obviously,
I doubt about
Light
Matti.
Shock. He is on 5 lap old hards. The reason he's probably a bit out of sync to everybody else is just after his pit stop, he was just behind the Red Bull of Samurai, but they came across a yet to pit OP who did initially a good job of doing a Sergio Perez role for his teammate, but then they had quite the collision down the last of the back straights, so that put Light Shock down the order. Obviously he had to change his front wing. It did bring out the virtual safety car at the time. So he was down maybe about 12th position or so, but he's made it back up to 6th position. Obviously he's on the hards, which is that instance probably put him on a worse strategy than everyone else around him. But he's back ahead of Tom Gorian, who is obviously the car behind. And then Verklempt is P10. He unfortunately disconnected from the lobby just before lights out, really.
Yeah.
Or not long before lights out, so
Unfortunate.
of course, with the first lap action, I didn't really get a chance to invite him back till maybe lap 2 or 3, so yeah, of course my apologies to Verklempt for that delay, but he's into the points positions, and yeah, you'll obviously see Vapid's down in P15. He crashed on his first flying lap in qualifying in that Mickey Mouse chicane just before the last sector. So he started down in P20, so that's why he's down the order as to probably where you'd maybe expect Vapid to be. So
it's a good chance.
I think that's the only other major event that I can recall at least was Small Girl going straight on into the heavy braking zone just at the start of Sector 2. That put them down quite a few positions as well in the first few laps or so. So yeah, that's the biggest stories that I can, of course, recall at this moment in time.
Nope.
And safety car in this lap.
Okay, let's get ready for some more sprint action. We've got just about 9 laps left, so there's going to be a sprint to the finish. However, can Matty manage to get to the end? I don't believe so. He's got 8 lap old tires. Yep. Jack Stone's on the softs. He's going to struggle after a couple. But yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yep, and Jatin puts his foot to the floor as we get back to green flag racing. And Matty's been caught a bit slightly sleeping, I would suggest. He's got Tarrier all over the back, who in turn also has Jack all over his rear diffuser as well. So,
ooh, is this going to be a move on the inside?
Pressure.
Ooh, he's really close. Oh, he's tapped him. Oh, he's tapped him again. Essentially barging him a bit out of the way there.
Yep, but Tarrier makes his way through now, and I think Jack's going to quickly follow suit here, especially on those soft tyres. Should have the grip advantage here, but let's see what happens. Matty maybe trying to use some battery to defend, but Mercedes driver up the inside into the left hand corner and makes his way through.
Obviously clean, very clean dive that from the Mercedes man. Now he's got Tarrier up ahead. Obviously these two share a very similar pace from what I've gathered from today's race. So this will be an exciting little battle for the podium.
It certainly should be. Matty though under some pressure from the Ferrari of Light Shock. Side by side they go down the back straight, and who is going to come out on top here into the braking zone? Light Shock has the advantage and gets himself through. Does he complete the move? He does indeed, and now Tom Gorian will look to follow through as well. And up the inside goes the Williams driver. Does he make the move stick?
Ooh!
Yes, he does, and now it's the
Oh!
Haas.
Oh, that's a clean move around the outside. Oh, Matthew has spun.
That is not ideal from Matthew. He's down in P17 now, is the Ferrari man. But towards the front, battle for the lead. Samurai within 4/10 of Jatin. Is he going to have a look into the braking zone? Not quite enough this time. Further back though, Spro 8 getting through on Vapid. Let's get a better angle on that.
Yeah, the Tarrier is pulled away from Jack, so it looks like... Oh, yellow flags, what happened? Seems to have been a collision.
OP had some sort of troubles, but back going again. Ooh, not quite enough though for the battle for the lead in terms of Samurai.
Oh,
Not quite able to go through, and OP
is that another
crashes
safety
in the
car?
Mickey Mouse chicane, and the safety car's back out again. Safety car back out for another trip. And into the pits, Light Shock and Jack.
Oh, again. Penalties for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, a penalty for Jack, speeding in the pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, not ideal for the Mercedes devs. On Light Shock also going on a set of the soft tyres.
Oh,
Jack's
he's
retired.
He's called it a day.
And that'll, calls it a day for today. Hopefully he comes back stronger next time round. We will be at the British Grand Prix.
And he's left the league completely.
Well,
Great.
unfortunately that was a short stint. Of course, the debutant for this season. Oh, and the other Mercedes does. Oh no, that's just... Never mind. That's just the AI car going off the track there.
Oh, dearie me.
Right, so let's go through the order once again. Obviously, a lot of drivers pitted there. So we have Jatin leading the way on the medium tyre. Then we've got Samurai second on the hards. Then we've got Tarrier third. Tom in fourth. Then it's the two Haas cars, fifth and sixth. Zombie ahead of Abel. Then it's Verklempt on the hards in seventh. Smogol's eighth. Kirby is up to P9 in that Cadillac car. He's made up some track position by not pitting this time. So let's see what Kirby can do. And then we've got Lightshock P10. He is pitted for some soft tyres. Then we've got Matty in the Alpine P11 with Spro 8 12th. Vapids 13th. Glasgow's 14th. Matthew in 15th with Verstappen 95 P16. And Kirby has now decided come into the pit lane.
I can imagine that Kirby is going to rely on some chaos up ahead in front of him. Certainly it's going to be the final couple of laps. He's going to have the freshest tyres of all. He's going to be sitting in a prime position to see everything happen. Look, he's waiting. He's even stopped his car to make sure he is in 16th. And I believe that's just him wanting to play the safe game, because considering his experience, he knows there's going to be a little bit of a kerfuffle the last few laps.
Yeah, especially there's only what's are going to be once we go back green. It's only going to be maybe 4 or 5 laps to the checkered flag, so it's going to be some chaos for sure when we get back underway.
Got from position 9 onwards down, all on pretty much fresh softs. The guys ahead are all on 6-lap-old hards or mediums. 7 in the case of Verklempt and Smallgill. So I mean, it's not much. Most of those laps were on the safety cars, so it shouldn't be too much of a disadvantage. But of course, here in Formula 1, every single 10th counts. But we'll see.
Yeah, so OP, he says he's locked up over the corner, and that's what put him into the wall. So hopefully they can come back stronger next time. However, it is Matthew with a 10-second penalty with a collision. We'll see whether or not that gets investigated. But we have
light shots.
Safety car, as we can see, going into the pits, and Jatin once again puts his foot to the floor nice and early this time, and he's got a big gap to Samurai behind, who is under pressure from LTK Tarrier.
Tarrier's been Tarrier. Okay, now it's looking.
We've got
good.
Vapid making moves ahead of Spro 8 for P11 there.
Tarrier is pushing. Oh, lots of time penalties now getting awarded. And ooh, that's a lot of penalties now. Right, Tarrier is looking for a move. He's using up all of his battery. Inside, outside, where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go inside? Yes, he is. Sending it under the Red Bull. They make a light tap. The sister team, of course. Oh, he's trying to switch back. He taps his wing a bit. He's pushing that Red Bull. Really pushing it hard now.
He very much is. Verklempt making up positions as well. He has got ahead of Haas of Abel. But Lightshock right on the tail of that Haas of Abel as Vapid battling with Spro 8 once again. We can see them in the background just about. And that's because Lesko getting ahead of the McLaren, but it's Lightshock up the inside into the final braking zone of the lap, and he moves up to P7.
Oh dearie me. Apologies, Carl. I saw Tarrier slide out of the final corner. It looked like he was about to go sideways across the track. Somehow he's kept it straight, pointing in the right direction. And look at how close he's absolutely hustling Samurai into the edge of the second sector. He's got overtake enabled. It allows for more battery recharge. 10% battery more is what Nico Rosberg said, and he makes good use of it to fly past. Not quite yet, but now very on the limit with the track limits there. But makes it stick around the outside. And up into second.
Making the move stick, and further back there's more action as well. Side by side between Lightshock and Verklempt, and also just behind that there is action as well. Oh, into the wall a bit, going Matty there, cutting the Mickey Mouse chicane, and behind him there is chaos.
There's absolute chaos there. They're unghosting, touching tyres a little bit. They're side by side down the straight. Cal, they're going to open up 4 wide in a minute.
Yeah, it looks that way nearly, as Small Girl side by side with Abel, and same goes for Lightshock and Verklempt, I believe there was there.
Very close train. There's a big train of cars there.
There certainly is a massive train. Only natural when we've just had a safety car, but that is because let's go right on the tail of Small Girl here in the battle for 10th position.
Down inside Sprite, he's going to make
ahead.
Sorry Cal, Sprite was about to make a double overtake into the fast swooping left-hander. But Kisleska responds quite nicely with a lovely counter-attack up into 11th.
Yep, Sprite losing a few positions there, as that is Matthew trying to go through as well, side by side between many drivers. Small Girl getting ahead of this pack at the moment, and then still side by side with Matthew as well. Oh, getting a bit out of shape there through that chicane. Oh, go back towards the lead now. Tarrier closing in on Gatton here.
Oh, he was sideways into the braking zone, Tarrier. He's really pushing it.
Yeah, I think I managed to catch a bit of that, but I didn't quite get the full picture because of the particular angle we were on. But yeah, this train
catching
is pretty big.
Oh, you may want to see this now for the lead. Tarrier is blisteringly fast. Tight and twisty section of sector 1.
Yeah, I was about to say Tarrier's going to get the DRS, but that is not really a thing anymore. It's everyone gets that active aero, of course. New regulations for this season, and Tarrier going side by side and now taking the lead of this Miami Grand Prix on the penultimate lap as well.
Oh,
but Jatin wants that race victory too, of course, and he's trying to defend it, but it's not quite enough for now.
Yellow flags. I think that's a glitch though.
Yeah, it's just the safety car glitch thing. We've not had any yellow flags since, so it'll stay going on the top left corner until we get one.
Weaving across the straight.
Yeah. Of course, we are just about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. And it's Tarrier who leads ahead of Jatin, ahead of Samurai. So the top 3 could all change here. Oh, Jatin switching sides into turn 1. And he's trying to go around the outside, and he made the move stick for P1.
That is a lovely overtake around the outside, and he's got the overtake as well, so he's just absolutely piped Tarrier.
Yeah, of course, the overtake gives you a bit more battery than your rival for the whole lap, if of course they do not have it either. So we'll see if that tactic plays off for Jatin as we go through the lap here.
33%.
Down. Yep, down the first of the back straights. Is Tarrier going to go for it here, or is he going to wait for the next braking zone? Side by side, Jackson defends the inside line. Tarrier going round the outside, but it's not quite worked out. And can Samurai maybe have a look at something, but not quite any position changes there. And now,
oh my god, Tarrier's got 100% battery. He's recharged it all in those 3 corners. He's going to dump all of it. Is it going to be enough to take the lead here?
let's have a look. Jatin trying to break the toe. But who is going to win this Miami Grand Prix? We've got one more braking zone for the drive to go, but Samurai up the inside. Oh, he's missed the braking zone. Samurai goes off. He loses position to Tom, but can he gain it back? Jatin is going to win this Miami Grand Prix. Tarrier P2 and Tom Gorian takes third ahead of the Samurai and Lightshot P5. Verklempt in 6th, Zombie in 7th. And then penalties change all the rest. So it looks Kozlesko in 8th, Abel 9th, Spro 8th, 10th with Vapid 11th, Smallgirl 12th, Matthew 13th, Matty 14th, Verstappen 95, 15th, and Kirby E16.
And unfortunately, we've got another rage quitter because Samurai has just rage quit the league because of that. Unbelievable. I have no words.
Well, there wasn't anything that Tarek did wrong, I don't think, from that.
No. Misjudged his breaking point. The Red Bull. I was fully on the Red Bull. Now it's disappointing. It's really sad to see that people tend to do that. But yeah, it is what it is.
So, of course, Jatin wins here in Miami, and with Tarrier P2 also taking fastest lap. Tom Gorian on the podium as well, ahead of Samurai P4. Lightshock takes 5th, Verklempt in P6. And then we've got 3 Hungarians all finishing together, with Zombie 7th, Kozlesko 8th, and Abel in 9th. Then we've got Spro 8 in P10, Vapid 11th, and Smallgirl rounding out the points scorers with Matty 13th. Matthew 13th, Matty 14th, I should say, and then it's Verstappen 15th with Kirby in 16th, and then your DNF drivers are Jack, OP, Ashton, Murphy, and Ben. So, that is the opening round of RFL Season 16, and
oh, are you being able to get the results?
Yes.
Oh, and it's already done. All right.
So yeah, what would be your reflections on, of course, that end of the race?
It's actually, I think it was quite exciting. New regulations, of course. Drivers are still learning how to deal with these cars. But on what would have been last season, probably would have been a walk-away victory for some, because following is much more difficult. With these cars, of course, there's always a battle until the final lap of the race. So I think very good, solid race, with the exception of the unfortunate incidents that have caused people to leave already. But I think all in all, pretty decent.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment there. But unless you've got anything more to add, I think that is pretty much all that's left for me to say. besides the outro. So, anything more from yourself?
No, no. All I say is thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time around for round 2, which is going to be around Silverstone, I think. Yeah, Silverstone.
Yes, Silverstone. This time next week, and right here on this channel once again. So, all that's left for me to say now is thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you all next time round. And it's goodbye from Angelo,
Goodbye.
and it is goodbye from me. Goodbye.